Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Elton. I'm back at you with another episode of R18 Advice. Aren't we all excited? I know I am. As you can see, I have my notepad with me today, trying something new as far as reading notes from my notepad as opposed to trying to do it from a blackboard or poster board or whatnot. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you guys about what type of fluids to use with your R engine. And the reason why this is so important is because of the fact that if you use the wrong fluid, that increases the likelihood of things going wrong. So without further ado, I'll get started with the first one, fuel. Now, if you have an 8th gen Honda Civic or even a 9th gen with the R18 motor, stock, you can run 87. 87 and above, that's good enough for your motor. Now, for the R20 guys with the 1st gen Acura ILX, because of the different programming with the ECU, which I'll get into in another part, you guys are required to run at least 91 octane. Now, from what I gather in the owner's manual for those cars, technically you can run 87, but you're not going to get the performance out of it that you're supposed to, and you could risk damaging your engine. And again, I believe it's all because of the ECU tuning as well as the R20 being slightly larger than the R18. Now, what if you're tuned? If you have if you got your ECU tuned, either you did it yourself or you got it done by a professional. Well, that depends on the tuner. I know for myself with my tune, I could still run 87. However, if I want the maximum performance that I can get with the mods that I have to run at least 91. Since I live in Alabama, we don't have 91. We have 87, 89, 92, and 93. And we also have E85 in certain locations. So that's with the fuel. 87 if you're stock. If you're modified, depending on the tune, I recommend at least premium. But if you're tuned to run 87, then stick with the 87. Now for the engine oil, again, stock motors, 5W20 all day. Now you could get your standard Honda oil, or you could get a high quality synthetic oil. I used to use Royal Purple for a very long time, and I still think it's a good oil, but I actually started using a different type of oil, Mobil 1 for advanced fuel economy. Now, here's something important to note. R18 motors can use 0W20. Most newer Honda vehicles use that 0W20. So it is if you decide to use that 0W20 instead of 5W20, it should be okay. I would suggest check it with your mechanic first. I just know from my personal experience, I've been using 0W20, that same Mobil 1 oil that was aforementioned. I have not had any issues with it. However, I would double check with your dealer or your mechanic to see if that's really necessary or not. But I did see a chart online that states that if you are running 5W20 and you choose to use 0W20, that's completely acceptable. It's but again, double check. Now for the Acura ILX guys, if you have the R20 motor, you have to run 0W20. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, transmission fluid. Now, what I'm going to cover as far as transmission fluid is for automatic transmissions only. And the reason being is because I have zero experience with manual transmissions. Now with that said, your ATF, your automatic transmission fluid, just stick with the standard Honda ATF. You can use something else such as Royal Purple Bats ATF. I used that for a little while and I did not have any problems with the transmission doing so. However, you'll get the best performance out of your standard Honda ATF. I personally don't recommend the Royal Purple Bats ATF, and it's not because it's a terrible product. It's just because of the fact that you don't want to risk damaging your transmission. Now your power steering fluid, standard Honda brand. Don't use anything else because it will mess up your power steering pump and it will cause issues with the power steering system. Engine coolant, use your standard Honda Blue. If you can't get it from the dealer, you should be able to pick it up from an AutoZone or an O'Reilly's. I know I found it at AutoZone. It's not branded Honda, it's branded something else. I think Pentafrost is the name of it. But it's basically the same thing. Now I know of some people that have used the pink coolant or antifreeze. Those belong in the Toyota vehicles. I have heard of a few people using those and they have not had any problems with it, but I have no concrete evidence. So I would say just stick with the regular excuse me, stick with your regular blue Honda Honda genuine coolant. Please don't use green. Please don't use green. I actually had an issue where I mistakenly put green in it thinking, oh, it's just, you know, your regular coolant or whatever, when I had a overheating issue, and it turned out to be my thermostat, but that's another story. The green didn't cool nearly as effective as the Honda Honda Blue. So stick with the Honda Blue, please. That's all I have for fluids. So let's just go over a brief review, and I'll just read straight from my notes here. For the fuel, if you're stock, run 87. You're tuned, it depends on your tuner. That will be discussed in the later part. And if you're rolling in the first gen Acura ILX with the 2-liter, 91. Engine oil, run your 5W20. Get a high quality synthetic, or you can use your genuine Honda oil. You can use 0W20 if you choose to do so, if you have the R18. If you have the ILX, you have to stay with the 0W20. Transmission fluid for automatic transmissions only. Just use Honda OEM. Same thing with the power steering fluid and the engine coolant. So that's all I have for you guys on this episode. If you like this video, go on ahead and give it a thumbs up. And there is more to come. So please hit that subscribe button. I'll definitely have more videos out. Also, let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments. If you have any questions, put those down in the comments. I'll try to get to you as best as I can with my schedule. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Take care.